Very special good evening to everyone, all the audience from the Uganda and from India. We have a special guest with us. He is Majakira Sedrick, and he is a UN National Gender Youth Activist and EG at Iganga University Students and Youth Association, Uganda, East Africa. And today he is going to discuss about a holistic approach about an African youth. So thank you so much, Mr. Cedric, for providing your valuable time for discussing this topic. And without taking too much time, I would like to invite you to kindly present your views on today's topic. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Samyak, for the opportunity. So glad to be joining in from Uganda and uh, joining into the entire world because I believe this online platform is being watched by everybody, I think, around the globe. As Samyak did introduce me, Majakira Sedrick, a UN National Gender Youth Activist, and at the same time, I'm a young leader back in my country and my area of my district of state or jurisdiction, the youth chairperson of young people within the district. And not only that, I serve as an executive director of a youth-led organization. It's called Iganga University Students and Youth Association. I'm so glad to be here to share a little bit of a perspective of an African youth. Before I go deep into our topic of discussion today, I would love to highlight a little bit on what Iganga University Students and Youth Association is. Iganga University Students and Youth Association is a dynamic youth group and is a community-based organization. This was founded way back in 2017 by a group of young people, these elite young people who were at school or who were at university by back then. These young people had a dream and envisioned that they would actually use the knowledge they did attain from school to positively impact the communities they did come from. So they came up with this idea and they were like, why don't we get fellow young academicians that we have been schooling with, or even those that we don't know? We bring them together, given their different expertise, so that they cause positive social transformation in the communities that brought them up. So that's the birth of Iganga University students. It does a lot of community and youth empowerment, and our major niche area and is sexual reproductive health, addressing the issues of young people regarding to sexual reproductive health. We don't do service delivery in addressing these issues, but we do information dissemination. When it comes to service delivery, we work with partners, reputable service partners that we partner with and help us give out these services regarding to sexual and reproductive health to young people. You might wonder as to why we did choose to venture into something or to have our niche in sexual reproductive health. I'll talk in the aspect of Uganda. I don't know what it might look like in other countries, but for Uganda, young people have a lot of challenges. But one of the outstanding challenges in our country, and as Iganga University Students and Youth Association, so is we have issues regarding to our sexuality. So us having issues regarding to our sexuality, we feel like without having possible solutions to mitigate these issues, we feel the youth are generally incapacitated to do whatever they envision or want to do or become. So we thought that by us giving information regarding to sexual reproductive health, we shall help uh, the youth um, maximize their full potential or reach their full potential, because we can both justify the fact that if you are ill, for example, if someone did get HIV, because it does fall in the sexual and reproductive health issues. For example, if a younger person did get HIV, in our country, there is a lot of stigma attached to that. So this young person will be traumatized. The trauma alone and the illness alone will definitely incapacitate this young person. And we have seen so many of them that are really promising young people, but because they did catch the virus, they felt like that's the end of life, which was quite unfortunate. They did give up on their dreams because they thought with catching the virus it means the end of life, which is literally not true. We all know and we have seen people who have lived with this virus for more than years, like 20 to 30, 50 and above, to mention but a few. But young people who didn't have the information that you can live with this virus, and I don't actually want to use the word cohabit, but you can really live with this virus and you can live a normal life without any interruption. So we felt it wise to come and give out the information. And the information we give is trying to demystify these myths that are surrounding the virus, like, it's the end of life, and so many myths that they attach around HIV/AIDS. So, us coming in, we thought we can tackle that challenge, empower the youth with information, because information is power generally. And besides that, there are issues regarding to teenage pregnancies. This especially goes to the girl child. If a girl child does get pregnant, there are always scenarios as to why this young girl did get pregnant. First is because she has no information regarding the available contraceptives or contraception methods, and she has no access to these contraceptive methods and services. So it's even the commodities themselves. These young people don't have the access to these commodities. So if she doesn't have the access or he doesn't have the access to these commodities, these young people are prone to indulging in sexual activity that will lead to teenage pregnancies at an early stage, because they don't know where to get these commodities, and not only the commodities but the information. So they will do something without enough valid information of how maybe uh, to 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 stop one from getting unwanted pregnancy. So we really thought that by addressing such issues, we know we can tackle the issues of teenage pregnancy, we can tackle the issues of stigma. By doing that, we can really empower the young people to become very responsible and really realize their full potential. Because yes, we want to be better young people. We don't want to be people without visions. We don't want to be people who are not dedicated to a particular cause that is going to bring ourselves up, and not only ourselves, but our families, friends, and the communities we did come from. Back to the topic of discussion, uh, the holistic approach of an in an African context. I'm an African born child, definitely a boy child. Being an African is quite tricky, but yes, it's at the same time, I would say I'm lucky to be one, because I wouldn't really have experienced whatever I've experienced. And experience is the best teacher. Uh, in Africa, we have, as a young person in Africa, we have quite a lot of challenges. And as I did mention, the first challenge that my organization does try to address, that's the challenge of sexual and reproductive health issues. But besides that, we African people or African young people have challenges regarding to unemployment. For example, the country I'm in, Uganda. Uganda is a landlocked country. We are found in East Africa, and I'm from the eastern parts of the country. That's Busoga. In my country, Busoga is one of those countries with the highest, if I'm not mistaken, the highest rates of illiteracy. We have a lot of young people. Actually, our population, if we to look at the population we have, I think we cover like 70% of our population is made up of young people. So it means that the entire burden of the country is on us as the young people. Us being many, it has really affected our development, and it has affected us in many ways. The first thing is unemployment. We have tried so much the government has tried so much to educate the people. I did tell you that I'm from the Soga region in my country. It's in the eastern parts of the country. It's one of those regions with the highest levels of illiteracy. But the government is trying to do something about it. And what it has done, it has tried to put uh, tuition free or fees free education programs that can enable the many young people at least access education. We all know the values of education. I can't really break those values right now down, but we can all acknowledge the fact that education is a must have for any young person out there, irrespective of the country he or she is. So we have a challenge of unemployment. We are lucky the government has done something in educating us. But again, the many educated people who are in the country, they have met a challenge of very few employment opportunities. We are seeing our numbers of the young people skyrocketing, but the opportunities for job employment are narrowing down. So it means we have a lot of we have very many young people who are not educated. And once we young people are not educated, we resort to doing other criminal activities. For example, if I can't get money, or if I can't get employment, or I don't have employment, definitely I'm a human being and I have responsibilities as a young person. I have personal responsibilities that I want to meet. So if I do not get employment, I will definitely be forced to look for a source of money. And before I know it, indulging in a criminal activity. I'm robbing people of their money or robbing property from other people. And at the end result, definitely, is I getting imprisoned. And my imprisonment doesn't really benefit me and does not benefit the community I'm in or the country at large. Young people, we do have a lot of brilliant ideas and we are really innovative. I must say, an African child is an innovative one, but we are still incapacitated with resources. Given the fact that I've talked about the lack of employment, this literally means that without employment, you don't have the resources. We are really so innovative. We have great ideas, and if you really did have an opportunity to sit down an African child and had a conversation about any topic or a conversation about development, you would really see that this young person has a lot of brilliant ideas that you can pick from to do something that can benefit so many people. But the challenge comes in unemployment and the lack of resources. Without the resources, we shall definitely not implement anything that we intend to implement or wish to implement. So we shall just be incapacitated and we shall do nothing. All our brilliant ideas will be buried in the sand. Nothing will be done. And these ideas are the same ideas that we think can create more employment for other young people. But because this is Africa and the unemployment challenges are all over us, all over the corners. We are not doing anything. So, besides unemployment, African uh, child or an African young person, um, I want to build my whole topic of conversation so much about us being not employed with a benchmark on my country. As I did tell you, I'm from Uganda, and we have a lot. a lot of young people in the country. Like the numbers are continuously increasing. The biggest population uh, is for young people. My district is Iganga district, where I come from, and that's where my community-based organization is. Of late, we did have a scenario whereby one of the leading newspapers in the country did publish that they did record us as Iganga district. We did record a number of over 1,230 plus young girls that did get pregnant. This drives us back to the point I was talking about of teenage pregnancies. Just imagine a number of 1,230 young people in just a space of 1 month are getting pregnant. This is quite alarming because these are all young people, and we have to keep in mind that the numbers we did have, or the numbers I'm talking about, these are numbers that were are compiled together by certain researchers. Researchers did their findings and that's what they found. But where did they get these statistics from? I'm quite sure that these statistics were gotten from probably healthy facilities or probably district database. So what does this mean? It really means that the numbers they did get in the previous month, these are only the numbers of those young people who were able to visit the nearest healthy facility to maybe have services regarding to their pregnancy. But how about those young people who couldn't really access these healthy facilities? Because our country is not so big, but I must tell you, it is we're a little bit unfortunate that we don't really have enough healthy facilities. You might find that in a single locality, people have to move kilometers, over 30 to 20 kilometers, just to go to the nearest healthy facility. So how about those young people who didn't make it to the healthy facility? So it literally does mean that in a particular month, we did record over 3,000 or 2,000 young people getting pregnant. What does this mean? This literally means that we have 3,000 young people plus who are ready, who are going to give birth to other young people. This is a very sorry state, really. Like a young person giving birth to a young person, a baby giving birth to a baby. There is a lot of dream killing that is, happening there. Because once you do get pregnant as a young African child, one thing gone off, education, definitely. You will not definitely continue with your school because you can count like 3 years or 4 years off school. The first 1 year you are pregnant, you are holding the baby like you are carrying the baby. The next 1 year you do give birth, and of course you can't leave the baby just after 1 year. You have to look after the baby like for a year or two, and those 3 years or 4 years that you spend are looking after this young baby, and you're a young person, you are not working. I've told you don't have employment opportunities are very few. So it literally means that your dreams have been uh like they have been trashed, or I don't even know how best I can explain this, but it means that your dreams have been killed because you can't spend 3 good solid years off work, irrespective of the fact that the employment opportunities are not there and you don't have a job. How are you going to make this young baby survive? And not only the young baby, how about you yourself as an individual? So it's quite challenging in Africa. Um, Still on the healthy facilities, yes, the few localities that are so lucky to have the healthy facilities do have them, but you might find yourself that these healthy facilities don't have certain commodities. I'm talking about the perspective of young people with the youth. Most of the hospitals we have, I don't know what the idea or the picture is in other countries, but I'll speak of our country, definitely Uganda. You might find that the few localities uh, that do have healthy facilities, these healthy facilities don't have youth-friendly corners. There are no youth-friendly corners, and not only youth-friendly corners, these facilities do not have a youth-friendly health service providers. What does this mean? Um, this literally means that if a health facility doesn't have a youth corner and it doesn't have youth-friendly healthy service providers, it means that a young person like me, if I did want to access uh, maybe medical attention, maybe regarding to my sexuality, and I happen to find an older person in a health facility, I'll definitely not open up. You know how this plays out. Any African child can really understand this. Um, Having issues with maybe sexual and reproductive issues, uh, me as an individual, and there is this facility I want to go to, and me going there, I find this person, probably a person I know I'm familiar with, and she's seated there or he's seated there at that facility. He or she knows my mom or knows my dad. I'll definitely not open up, and I'll end up dying in my own movie. I'll be like, okay, I can't open up to this healthy service provider because he or she is going to do this and this, and my name will be tarnished in front of my parents. Besides that, the youth corners, we all know youth corners. These are corners whereby young people can freely express themselves, and these youth corners have to be equipped with the youth-friendly service providers. So if there is no youth corner where young people can really go once they do have these challenges they do face, and seek medical attention or care, it definitely means that they will not access these services because the youth center is not there, like the youth corner is not there where they can get maybe the service or even the information. And the end result of it all is this young person dying in his or her own movie, is this young person making an informed decision. And what I mean by an informed decision is this young person probably, because of the myths around different issues, this young person might decide to this young person might decide to do something that might affect him or her for the rest of his life. And before you know it, this young person is not beneficial to himself and the community or the country itself. Besides all the youth corner and the unemployment part of it, I'll talk about drug abuse or substance abuse. Africa, we all know we have this challenge. My locality, still where I come from, my district is Iganga district. There are a lot of young people, very young people, indulging in substance abuse. Substance abuse is harmful, very harmful. It does disorganize anybody, even if it's a mature person. But it's so alarming at the rate at which the young people in Africa, in the context of Uganda, that young people are really abusing the drugs and the substances. We are seeing young people as early as 10, as early as 15, 20, and indulging in substance abuse. Substance abuse has its negative impacts and effects. For example, school dropping out. Once, of course, you really get addicted to these substances and drugs, there are higher chances that this person or you will not definitely continue with your school. So it means that once you don't continue with your school, you would have uh, destroyed your dreams. Besides school dropping out, offensive acts or getting violent. We all know what substances can do to a person who does abuse them. So if you do take a lot of it, if you do get addicted, you end up indulging in criminal activities, and before you know it, you are imprisoned, which will be a disadvantage to not only yourself still, your family, friends, but the country at large. Because, as I've told you, we young people are so innovative, but our innovations are not put into play or action because of our lack of resources. So, if you do abuse the drugs, definitely your innovative ideas will be missed because you'll be in prison. We won't have you in open play where we can probably access your innovative ideas and we put them to implementation. Besides that, it can also lead to issues regarding to, of course, gender-based violence. We all know most people who are victims or who are perpetrators of gender-based violence. In most cases, they are under the influence of a substance. The first substance I can mention of, or drug abuse, the first substance I can mention of is definitely alcohol. Alcohol abuse is so prominent in our country, Uganda, and not only our country, but my district of jurisdiction. A lot of young people do abuse alcohol. They are taking alcohol because they sit in movies and they see their role models do take booze, so they feel like in order to be like their role models, they definitely have to take those beers and different types of beers they do take. But before they know it, because once you do take this substance, it definitely deters you from thinking straight. And once you can't think straight, surely we all know most of your decisions will not be really valid decisions. These will be decisions that are imposed or that are really influenced by alcohol. And the end result of it is us losing this person. Besides that, smoking is another drug that young people do, or a habit that we young people in Africa do. A lot of young people are smoking. They find it as a cool lifestyle. Yeah, it might look cool as you look at it or as you see other people do it, but there's nothing cool about smoking. Personally, that's my personal view. I don't really feel like there is anything beneficial in smoking. Besides you having your lungs destroyed, I don't really see any other important thing. We are lucky our country is a little bit blessed. It's not a cold country. I might probably agree with people in different countries that are a little bit cold, that maybe they do smoke because they want to keep themselves warm, they want to keep their body warm. But our context, African context, literally, there are very few countries in Africa that are always cold. Most of the times, our countries are so warm and they are so hot. So I don't really find any importance, no, any serious reason that any African young person can tell me that yes, I'm smoking because of this and this. With that said, as I've told you, there are a lot of challenges growing up as a young person in Africa. You at times you reach a time and you really doubt yourself. Am I even going to make it? Looking at your surrounding and you're like, oh God, am I really going to come out responsible? You keep on imagining because a lot is happening in Africa. A lot is happening. Young people, as I've told you, they don't have resources. They are unemployed. And besides unemployment, the poverty levels are so high. Poverty levels are so high. People are living a day less than, you know, living life in a day in less than a one US dollar, relying on a less than one US dollar. That's quite a small amount of money. But we have we have people in Africa that are living below that. It's quite alarming. There are a lot of things that uh, are holding us Africans back. Poverty levels, but we are quite blessed with a lot of resources that we can really exploit and do something to address the issues of poverty. But the high levels also of corruption, actually, to mention it, I did not want to mention corruption, but yes, they are so high, and you know keeps, it makes you keep on wondering. At times we do joke uh and laugh about it. For example, there are articles we always see because they continuously do it and they throw it to you in your face. There are articles you see in leading newspapers of the country whereby they communicate that they have probably outsourced certain amounts of cash. For example, let me say 1 billion US dollars from somewhere, and they put it on the front page, and everybody can see it that yes, Uganda has outsourced 1 billion US dollars, and is meant to help young people maybe implement their projects. It's meant to empower young people with life skills, with skilling, and a lot of so many activities that can empower the young people. And it's all printed on the first page, as I've told you. Then on the next page, or in the middle of the newspapers, you see maybe another figure, but a figure less than the 1 billion that they did put on the front page. So people do make comment out of it, and they'll be like, if at all they can, steal money in the public eye by publicizing it on the first page that yes, you have received 1 billion, but in the middle of or just the same newspaper, you are seeing, you know, more or less money allocated to the young people still, or allocated to the implementation of a certain project that is going to empower young people. So corruption is also another challenge as growing up as a young African. We know the effects of corruption. Once there is corruption, you definitely know poor infrastructure is going to kick in. Poor infrastructure will mean roads. Our roads will not be built, they will not be constructed. And once these roads are not constructed, it will go back to the layman down in the village. It will mean that this young person or this layman cannot transport his or her commodities to the nearest marketplace to earn a living. For example, a young person might be a farmer, but because of corruption, the money that was meant to build a road to link a certain village or a certain farm of young people to the market, bosses or government officials have eaten up this money and the road is not there. So it means this young person, irrespective of the fact that he's maybe trying to earn a living out of agriculture, will not have the mandate to transport his commodities, the produces, to the market because the roads are not there. Besides the roads, hospitals have really, like as earlier I did mention, people are moving 20 kilometers plus just to access the nearest service center. This is quite alarming. You know what that means? Assuming I have an emergency, what will happen to me? It will definitely mean that my life has come to an end. And once my life comes to an end, um, this is a disadvantage to myself, my friends, my family, and the country at large. Because we know once we lose a person, it means that we are not going to have another person like you. And we all know we have ideas and we have innovations that we feel we can undertake. We have dreams, we have goals, we have visions. So if I'm dying at an early stage, it means that actually it's just a setback to the whole country, but it seems like our country doesn't seem to care. I will. I really appreciate the fact and I really appreciate the way the US government does work or how the US does uh, operate and does care about its people. We have seen it in movies and we all know this is actually happening on ground. US or Americans, they do so much value the lives of people. Fine, a lot happens there. I can't really shade it green. I can't really make it like it's an heaven for everybody. That is a perfect place. It's not a perfect place, but at least you have seen it, and we know it that they do care about their citizens. They know the value of human resource. They know that once a person lost, it means that we won't have any other person who will think exactly the same way like that person who is lost. That's why I think this country is really developing, and I think that's how it has really managed to keep itself up there. Valuing human resource. For us, we don't value that. As Africans and as Ugandans, as I've told you, the corruption levels are so high, so we don't value the importance of human resource. We are letting young people die so early because they can't access health facilities. We are getting probably nasty accidents because of poor road infrastructure. And we are just looking on. We are looking at these people die prematurely because our top government officials are not doing their work. Besides that, even construction of schools. Yes, the government is doing something. It's really trying to build the schools. Yes, we do appreciate that and we acknowledge that. But at the same time, the schools would have been more than the schools we do have. It's still the same as the health facilities. Young people are moving miles and miles just to access education. And we don't know what can happen to this young person who is moving more than 10 kilometers just to gain time to attend to a school in a day. At what time will this young person wake up to go to that particular school? And at what time will this young person go back home? We know there are challenges that this young person is most likely to encounter in that transit from home to school in the morning hours and from school to home in the late hours of the day. So we put the lives of our people at risk. That's the point I'm talking about, that our government seems to care less about the human resource it does have. Because once you lose somebody, it literally means you will never have the same me. I will talk about me. If the country did lose me, it will never have the same me. I have my own ideas, I have my own visions, I have my own goals. And I'm sure, quite very sure, that my goals and my visions are visions that are going to help the whole country at large. But if the country is doing very little to support me, it's not building for me schools, it's not building infrastructure for me in regards to roads, it's not building hospitals for me in case I do get ill. Definitely, you know what happens? I will die, and I will die with my visions, and the country will be at loss. So I think the country really needs to benchmark on countries that are caring about their citizens. With that said, I will ask Mr. Samyak to probably stop here and for now, and probably um, get to hear from him, then we can still continue with the discussion. Yes, Samyak, if you are on, you can get back so that we can continue with the conversation. I don't want to really take all the time by myself. I want us to have an interactive discussion. Yes, thank you. You are mute. You are mute.
Thank you so much, Mr. Cedric. Are you getting me right now?
Yes, I am.
Uh, Before moving to winding up our session, we have a question from our audience, Miss Rupali. He wants to ask some few questions related
Okay.
to African youth. So I would like to offer Miss Rupali. Uh, yes, you can
Hello.
ask.
Yes. Very good welcome, Mr. Cedric. I heard your entire session. I just realized that what the conditions are there in Africa. Most probably they are prevalent everywhere because India we faced some similar problems too. So I would like to ask, what could be the way forward? Like, what do you think could be a way forward to the problems that you have shared?
Yes, thank you so much, Rupali. If I did get it right, sorry in case I did pronounce it wrongly.
No,
Yes,
no,
your
you pronounce
question.
it correct.
Okay, so your question was about the possible solutions to some of these challenges we do face. For me, I really believe in youth power, and I believe that we young people are so innovative, as I've been re-echoing it throughout my presentation. We have the energies, we have the ideas, but we are just incapacitated by the resources. But still, that doesn't mean that when we don't have the resources, we don't have to put our ideas to reality. I just would say that the best we can do is make ourselves more like we should really increase on our networks as young people, because with togetherness a lot can be achieved. So I really believe that if we do increase on our networks as young people, given our energies, our innovations, I really believe we can come up with possible sustainable solutions that can address our issues we do face. For example, the issue of probably maybe teenage pregnancies. As I did discuss, these teenage pregnancies might be coming in because of lack of information. We have elite land young people amongst ourselves. We can just take it up as an initiative and we be like, yes, young people are getting pregnant. What are we going to do? Probably they lack information, and we start doing a program about information dissemination regarding addressing the issue of teenage pregnancy. We can start up radio talk shows. We are incapacitated by resources, but at least we have connections. We can't fail to get airtime on a radio station or TV station. Besides even getting to that broader perspective of going to having airplay, we can still educate ourselves among the communities we live in. We have peer mentors, we educate peer mentors, and we test these peer mentors to have discussions surrounding how we can address that particular issue. For example, teenage pregnancy. We tell these young people the required and necessary information regarding teenage pregnancy addressing. At times, these young people get pregnant because of uh, not knowing where they can access maybe a contraception like a condom, or probably not knowing even its usage. And not only its usage, they might not be knowing where they can get maybe any other contraceptive method that can stop or hinder her from getting that teenage pregnancy. So we come up with all our information and all our peer educators, and we pass on this information to the young people. I believe by that we can address that issue. Then still on the issue of maybe unemployment. Yes, unemployment I think is almost everywhere for the young people. There are no jobs. Personally, I'm a land person. I'm not employed anywhere. I'm just me, but because I believe in innovation and the young people, I believe in myself. I myself, I did start my own organization and it's employing me. I'm having big people uh, getting back to me to like to do their works, but it's because of how organized and how I've decided that I won't wait for the government or the higher authorities to do something about the challenge I'm facing. I felt like I myself should really address that challenge of unemployment, and I decided to start something. This something does not only benefit me, but it benefits many other young people, because the organization has over like 13 young people on board, and these young people have other young people they do take care of. So it really means that we young people, we should stop waiting for intervention from higher authorities or intervention from maybe our governments to come and address the issues we do face. We ourselves are the power. They always tell us we are the leaders of maybe tomorrow, but there is no tomorrow. Because trust me, if you say we are the leaders of tomorrow and we wait maybe to get in authority to address the issues we face, by the time we get into authority, we shall no longer be youth, because a youthful stage is just more like a transitional stage. We are just bypassing through it. So we need to address our issues as early as possible. We are not the leaders of tomorrow. We are the leaders of now. So whatever we do, is definitely meant to help us better ourselves, and is meant to help us address issues and make life much more easier for our young siblings that will come after us. But because we have chosen to be redundant and sit on our brilliant ideas and innovations, we have rendered our young sisters and brothers hopeless. You see how these I'll keep on referring to America. America is really, it really has some system I admire. Those people really do plan for the future. They don't only talk about the future, but they do plan for it. They care about what will come after they have left maybe that particular stage. But us here in Africa is a different story. For us, we care about now, and we don't care about anything else. Even the past, we don't really want to look at the past. We just want to look at now. Provided you can survive now, you don't want to look at the future. But if we change our mindsets and we be like, yes, we are having issues of unemployment, we are having issues of corruption, what are we doing to address corruption? We might not have the capacity to address corruption because this is top fish, like it's being done by top politicians in our countries. But we can make some noise. We have the numbers. What kind of noise can we make? We can hit the press. I don't want us to get violent, that we maybe get onto the streets and start demonstrating, but no, we can do it diplomatically. We are land people. We just have to make a lot of noise and tell people out there that, look, the government is doing this and this, and we feel it's not right. So we feel like interventions should be made to address that particular issue. And the continuous noise you make, trust me, something has to change. Those are the solutions I feel like we should do to make sure that we can address the challenges that we young people do face. I hope I have answered you clearly, Lo Pari.
Yes, very well. You explained very well. And
Yeah.
I think that, yeah, there is a lot to be done. But because a world is growing at a very fast rate. So I'm sure the problems, the solutions will come easy, and I think that the scenario in Africa is changing very drastically because the world is looking at is Africa right now because it has a lot of resources and a lot of unexplored uh, the things that are there in Africa. And I think, yes, what the mentions, whatever solutions you mentioned, like how to by increasing employment and changing some political scenarios and everything, that will, yeah, that there the things are needed to be done in that area. Yes. Now, Samyak, please you carry on the conversation.
Thank you so much, Rupali, for asking the question and providing your time. And Mr. Shedrick, thank you so much for a wonderful presentation about a holistic approach about the problems youths are facing right now in African countries, from the sexual reproductive problems to girl child pregnancy, unemployment, illiteracy, and other mental health issues related like addiction or substance abuse. So you have discussed all the problems very well. You also discuss how you are working for get rid of it or how to cope with these type of situations in your country. Basically, I think that this type of problem is not only in African countries, it is in some more quantity, but it is a problem of all over the world. I think today's youth is not getting life so much properly, not having a proper management about their life. So they are facing these type of situations, these type of problems so much. And it is really a wonderful session, and you explained each and every point very clearly with a scientific background, and also you provide a solution from your side, and your initiative, your association is also helping in this in a best manner. So before moving to next, I know about more about your association, how someone can join you, or someone from other countries or like me, how we can help you in your initiative. Because I think awakened youth or enlightened youth from all over the world should be combined for a positive change and get rid of these type of problems. So, what is your uh, association is working in how manner, and how someone can also help you from outside the country?
Okay, thanks so much, Samyak, for that question. First of all, I would like to appreciate Rupali for the question she did ask as well. Um, Joining our association is quite easy. First of all, I do commend the fact that you really do appreciate that as young people, we do need to come together and work together, irrespective of where we are, because we are facing exactly the same challenges. We are having the same issues worldwide. So I really feel that by us working together and having a common voice, or maybe having um, at least a common understanding as us, it can really better us and it can really help us address issues. I know as probably maybe like India, you might, as we have really shared that we are facing the same challenges, you might have better solutions that have worked in addressing that particular challenge that we are all facing. So, by us working together, I really believe that we can probably benchmark on your solutions that you are using to address that issue that is pressing in your country, and we bring it back to our country. So if we do that, we shall definitely harmonize those issues, and we shall find ourselves dealing away with the issues we do face as young people once and for all. So I'll talk about how we can, anyone can join our association. First of all, our association is youth led, and I'm the executive director. I'm the team leader. Of course, 25 years old, so it's open to any young person, and not only any young person, but anybody all over the world who would wish to join. Because what we want to do is, you know, help young people, empower young people. And we can't empower young people without possibly mentors. That's why we left it open to any person to do join us. So if a person does join us and is beyond the age of youth, we welcome this person, because yes, this person has seen it all, this person has been through the useful stage, and possibly this person has better ideas he or she might really recommend that can help empower young people all over. So joining is simple. We do have what they call a membership personnel. This personnel, uh, I think I'll share the contact with you, Samyak, at the end of the discussion. But this personnel does register the person. So they register probably where you're from, they register your name, and they register your age. Besides the age, they register your expertise. Why the expertise? Because we really want to know what are you good at. So if you are good in a particular aspect, and we have young people in a particular probably locality that are facing challenges in that aspect, we can look through our database and we be like, okay, yes, Rupali is she has experience in this and this. We can really recommend her to immediately Uganda address those young people so that she can help them out. So we get your expertise, the maybe what you did study, and there is a form that you do sign. You can either do it physically, that's if you're within our country, you do it physically, you come at our office, we give you the form and sign it. Or if you're out of the country, you can possibly do it online. You fill in the form, possibly we send it to you through email. If not email, we can send it on possibly WhatsApp. Once you get the form, you fill in the form. After filling in the form, you submit it back through email still. We get the email, and then we make a hard copy so that we keep it in our office. So by doing that, we enter you through into our directory and our database, so that in case of anything, we really know where to start from. We have the contact and we have everything. So there are times we have uh, a certain amount of cash that is attached to this subscription of or registration to this organization. But in most cases, this amount is very little money and is affordable to all young people. As I've told you, we are looking at empowering young people, and us being a youth led organization, we don't have the resources to, of course, to empower the young people and to maybe to keep the organization afloat. So we need to get this money through registration to help in helping us keep the organization afloat, or help run the organization's program. So basically, that's what's needed. Just registration that can be done online if you are out of the country, and a small fee that can be attached, and that is given definitely to the membership coordinator. Yes, basically that's it.
Thank you so much for providing information about how someone can join with your initiative. And definitely, we have to provide our best service to the different problems of different sections of the society in what best possible manner we can do or we can provide it. And definitely I will also put the link, I will also put the all the information related to your initiative in the description box, so audience will also reach it through there. And I would like to also tell you that Miss Rupali is also a wonderful, having wonderful counseling skills. She is a psychologist and she has a master's from clinical psychology. So she will definitely help a lot in field of mental health or in field of substance abuse. So I would like to share these initiatives information to other members, to other interested ones. And I am also uh, promising you that in what best possible manner our organization will help you. We are ready to help you at our own best level. So let's we together make a positive change in the world and try to solve these kinds of problems among the youths and provide a better future, provide a better world for the youth where they can grow very swiftly, they can fulfill their dreams, they live a very happy and blissful life. So, from myself, from my organization, I am always ready to help you in what best possible manner I can. So we have time limits also. So in future, I will definitely invite you again for discussion more about it and together what we can do from our side. And before winding up our session, I would like to move to Miss Rupali. Have you wants to provide any conclude remark or comments on this?
Uh, uh, I just wanted to say that whatever Mr. Cedric has suggested, that really needs to, that I think is a need of the hour, that because there is a lot that that needs to be done in the field of mental health, I think all over the world wide. Because when we look at the uh, like as you say, Americans or Europeans, they are like they have done far more, far much better than us. And whatever suggestions you have provided regarding the associations and regarding uh, the like how people from different corners of the world can connect and can move towards a possible solution, I think it is the best that can be done. And just I just wanted to thank you for this session and for sharing all your valuable ideas.
Okay. Besides that, I also thought I would share with you about something. We are organizing something in my country or in my district, and it's still about, of course, addressing issues relating to young people. We are all familiar with, or we have heard of the International Youth Day. This does happen every 12th August each other year that goes by. So we didn't celebrate that International Youth Day in our country on 12 as a district because of COVID. We had restrictions and they couldn't permit gatherings at that time. So we are organizing that event or celebrations uh, within the next 2 days, and we are going to organize it on 30th. What do we want to do on this particular day? We all acknowledge and know that uh, the International Youth Day is a day that was slated for young people to appreciate the energies and their brilliant ideas that they have really, or their works that they have been doing, or they are doing towards the development of the country or they come from, or the world at large. So it's really so unfortunate if we don't really celebrate this International Youth Day, or if we don't do recognize this International Youth Day. So as a district or as Iganga University Students and Youth Association, we did feel it wise to at least, irrespective of COVID and irrespective of the fact that the the day did pass 12, we thought it wise to at least reschedule and have another day where we can celebrate this International Youth Day. We can celebrate the efforts of young people towards development of our countries. So we have activities lined up towards this celebration. As I've told you, our celebration is going to be on 30th. This month is going to be a Monday. So we are looking at planting trees. In Africa, in a Ugandan context, our climate is kind of changing. Initially, our climate was a little bit cool and it was really a nice country. We know of Uganda as the Pearl of Africa. It's not called the Pearl of Africa because of its maybe calmness or anything, but it did, or it was called the Pearl of Africa because of its nature and of course its climate. But the climate is changing, and it's changing because people are continuously cutting down trees, and not only cutting down trees, the populations are increasing. As I've told you, our country, 77% is youth. And besides it being youth, there are other many young people who are getting pregnant. So it means that the population is increasing and the pressure, the resources that are within the country is definitely increasing as well. So trees are being cut down to facilitate or to so that people can have space where they can build their houses and live. So we felt it wise to come up with a campaign of how we can mitigate the climate change. So we are hoping to plant over 20,000 trees in this coming year. So we are going to launch that campaign on 30th as young people of the district. Besides that, we are going to have discussions around issues that are pressing young people in our country. So we are inviting quite many young people from different localities in the country or in the district so that we can hear their voices about the challenges they are facing. We want to have a rapporteur who is going to really get the voices of these young people, and these voices are going to be documented. Once they are documented, we are going to have a panel discussion whereby we shall address these coming out issues that are coming out from these young people. These issues will be presented, and we shall still test the young people because we are going to have them in one place. So we shall still test these young people to suggest possible solutions of addressing these uh, challenges. So once we do get those possible solutions, we are looking at forwarding these solutions to a higher authority. And not only higher authority, we as the young people still, we want to look at how best, even without the resources, how best we can benchmark on the possible solutions that have been shared by many young people to address these challenges we face. But still, as I've told you, that we are looking at uh, giving these solutions to different stakeholders. For example, as I've told you, the government stakeholders, the leaders in the higher levels of government, we will definitely present a position paper that yes, these are the voices of young people, and these are the solutions, or maybe these are the problems that they have highlighted that they are facing, and these are the possible solutions. So, as you stakeholders, what are your commitments, or what are you going to do to help these young people address and mitigate their issues? So, we are planning this day. We have a lot of activities really lined up, and we are also looking at are trying to promote sanitation in our locality. We can all acknowledge that young people have been given names. I don't know what it is like in your countries, but us here in Uganda, young people have been given a lot of names. We have been called noisemakers, we have been called drug dealers, we have been called all sorts of funny names because of a few young people who don't know what exactly they want. So we want to repaint our image. We want to use this thing to repaint our image. And how are we going to repaint our image? We want to show people in the community that are giving us those names that yes, we are young people and you call us all those names, but we are responsible young people. Or amongst ourselves, we have responsible young people, and we are here. Even in your town, we want you people to live in a healthy place, or we want you people to live in places that are, are like really have good sanitation so that you don't get sick. We are also looking at rewarding young people who have been affected by COVID. We all know how COVID has affected young people in various parts of the countries or in various parts of the world. There is a lot that is happening around young people. So we are looking at having a package for these young people who we feel are unfortunate. For example, people with disabilities. These are people who have really, even before COVID, have been incapacitated. So COVID has been like the final blow to realizing their potential. So we felt like we should come up as people from different places so that at least we give maybe like company to these young people. We want to inspire them and tell them that look, yes, COVID is treating you bad, and we know you're incapacitated, probably you have a disability, but we are with you in this. We are giving you this. We are going to get through this, because definitely COVID will come to an end. So we are looking at empowering those young people by giving them probably basic requirements that they can use in COVID, given the fact that, of course, they are not working, and given their disability, they haven't been working. Besides even that, we are also looking at uh, bringing, I think I've already talked about this, that we want to bring different young people and different youth groups together in one place, so that we can have their voices, we can have a common voice. We are looking at having this engagement aired live, so that even people who can't access the grounds because of the COVID restrictions can really listen in and know what we are talking about. We have really been so thoughtful and so selective in how we have invited the people we want uh, to come on our event. We have invited youth leaders, so that they come and listen into the problems that are pressing young people. So with these youth leaders being in place, we know at the end of it all, a position paper is going to be given to them. A statement is going to be given to them. And it will be, of course, highlighting the issues as I have earlier shared. So I would love you people to tune in. I think I will share a link of when we can have those engagements. And in case of any support still, because of course events have budgets aligned for them. In case of any support, anyone can reach out to me, and yes, we can support the event, and you can support it as an individual. For example, Samyak, you can support it as an organization, and probably an acknowledgement will be given. Will be like, yes, we have friends from India, and we have an organization from India, and this is what it has brought on board to help young people of Uganda, particularly. That's the connection we want to build. As you had earlier shared, we need to network as a country, because we are all young people, not only a country actually, but we need to network as the world. We have to have a common voice as young people across the world, and we have to network and use every opportunity we have to really network. I've told you we can benchmark. We are facing the same challenges, but we can benchmark on the solutions. What are the best practices in Uganda? If we get the best practices in Uganda, we can just carry those best practices and we can implement them in India. And trust me, we shall be solving issues of young people. Thank you. Back to you, Sabina.
Thank you so much, and I will mention all your valuable points, and I will definitely work on it, and together what we can do best for our society, community, and the world. We will discuss it and make a wonderful decision with a positive attitude, with a positive result. So we will discuss it later personally. So for now, thank you so much, Mr. Cedric, for a wonderful session, for a very informative and systematic session about the problems the African youth are facing right now, and in future definitely we will do a lot for it. So thank you so much for providing your time at last. And in Ugandan, it is said that Vebelenio for thanking, and Namaste in Indian language. So,
Namaste.
so thank you so much once again. So I would like to wind up our session right now with your permission.
Okay, it's fine. Thank you so much for hosting me. Greetings to everybody that side, and we're looking forward to among engagements with you.